After Slaughter, 89 was the man going for the ball. Michael Dean Perry got pressure on Warren Moon.
Receiver on the play.
Gary Brown, number 33 now. You see 123 yards rushing to just 57 for the Browns.
This guy's something else. I mean, he's making talk about making the most of an opportunity. He's doing just that.
From the Cleveland 48.
Lorenzo, who is going to be the call in Houston? Lorenzo's probably starting to heal up pretty quickly.
Yeah, Lorenzo's been troubled by some bad hamstrings, but he's been a tremendous player, too, for the Oilers. Gary Brown, that's awesome. Pro Bowl looking back here.
That's awesome. You know, it's a combination of, it's the body lean, it's the way God and his parents and nature made him. I mean, just the way he's built. Low to the ground, aggressive attitude, refuses to be tackled. I mean, how much more can you say about the guy? He's still running right there, 2 inches from the ground. He's still pushing forward.
He gets the yards, and he holds the ball. He takes a lot of hits. Continues to rush. Over 130 yards now. Right back to Gary Brown. 5 yards, 6 yards in net carries, up to 140 for the game. And that'll do it as Bill Belichick's Cleveland defense at the moment unable to stop the onslaught of a great offensive line, opening gaps for a power back in Gary Brown. So the third quarter ends with the Oilers leading and driving again. Now these words from your local station.
Tonight, Darwin is kidnapped by the regulator. Now the crew must risk their lives to save him. Sequest 8/7 Central, NBC tonight.
Where can you find the largest selection of minivans around with the lowest prices and no payments till February? Only at the minivan store, Sundance Dodge. The 94 Dodge Caravan, designed for better winter handling, just $14,987 or $249 a month. The minivan store has over 80 minivans to choose from, including 10 Blue Ribbon Smart Car Plymouth Grand Voyager SEs, all at one low price, just $19,888 or $315 a month. The minivan store, Sundance Dodge, Boise Motor Village.
Hi folks, Cindy Atwood, Boise Furniture, 5 Mile and Overland. We received a truckload of solid oak at Boise Furniture just in time for the holidays. For your dining room needs, make sure you see the huge selection at Boise Furniture, like a 4-chair solid oak dinette starting at $399, or a solid oak table to seat 18 people. Boise Furniture has it, plus great deals on all inventory. That's Boise Furniture at 5 Mile and Overland. And remember, at Boise Furniture, if you want it, we'll help you own it.
You want a great-looking truck that you can show off at work, get rough in the dirt, or haul your friends to the game in. You want a truck that will last for years, and you want top dollar when you trade it in. Then you want a GMC truck. Suburbans, GMEs, extended cab pickups, regular cab pickups, and vans. You want a GMC dealership that will stand behind these GMC trucks with outstanding service and dependability. Then you want your White Hat GMC truck dealers, Dennis Dillon GMC Truck in Boise and Dennis Dillon GMC Truck in Ontario.
Oprah, weekdays at 4 o'clock on KTVB, Channel 7 in Boise.
By authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the NFL is prohibited.
Cleveland Stadium. 75,000 on hand as the Browns in a most important game for both teams. They both came in 5-4. Cleveland trying to stem a 2-game losing streak. Oilers trying to extend a 4-game win streak. As Gary Brown turns it out and up, and Gary Brown has absolutely been magnificent the last 2 weeks. Last week they said the Bengals weren't a great defense. Well, Cleveland has a very good defense, and he's still doing it.
Well, that's what I wanted to see today, and he is. Look at this. See the little move?
Yeah.
The guy's sneaky, elusive, and sneaky fast. You look at him, you don't think of him as a guy with great moves and great, but he certainly has it all. I mean, this has been unreal.
Any DBs on the field like that, they kind of bring back memories of the good old days.
And look at this. See, the linebackers, the big tacklers for Cleveland are on the sideline. When you play a run and shoot, you tend to play a lot of DBs, but Houston can run.
Why throw it when you can run every down? That time Jerry Ball, who is a human bowling ball at 6 feet 315, shoots the gap and makes the stop.
Boy, take a look at the time of possession. Houston has taken over this football game by running the ball, good blocking on the line, and Mr. Brown putting on a show. In this third quarter, Houston's run 26 plays. Cleveland has run 5 plays. I mean, that lets you know the Oilers are in the driver's seat.
Looks like the Dallas Cowboys are going to go down to their 3rd loss of the season. You'll see them Thanksgiving Day against Miami here on NBC. Beginning with NFL Live at 3:30 Eastern Time, 12:30 Pacific. Warren Moon takes a look, searches out a receiver, buys some time with the run. Warren Moon heads for the 12th man, the sideline, and smartly steps out of bounds, but way short of a first down. That'll bring up 3rd down.
Warren showing a little speed there. He doesn't like to turn it on anymore too often, but he turned it on there and got to the sideline. You know, you can look at this and you got to thank the secondary. Look at every receiver is blanketed. Every receiver is surrounded. Even with the scrambling, the DBs are hustling to stay in position.
There was a 15-yard penalty signaled against Houston on Curtis Duncan, a personal foul.
Curtis, well, he must have turned into a blocker when he saw Warren Moon running and did a no-no.
He's had a nice day, though, Curtis Duncan.
He's had a good day.
Every day when he's in there, had a foot race, started over 60 straight games for the Oilers, then had a foot problem that kept him out for 4 games this year.
You know, Don, one of the difficulties of playing against a run and shoot is, like I said earlier, you tend to put 6 DBs in the game and 1 linebacker. But when the Houston Oilers have a running game, when they can establish the run like they've done the last 3 or 4 weeks, now you're in this quandary. Do I play more linebackers and then let them throw? Do I play more DBs and try to tackle? It's tough.
Big down now. Warren Moon needs a 2nd down and 22. Here comes the rush. Swing pass. Gary Brown running an open field. Crashes inside the 20. Got it back down to the 19-yard line where it'll be 3rd down coming up. 3rd down and about 12. Eric Turner, number 29, was the tackler for Cleveland. And Rob Burnett, one of the Browns' best defenders, is down. So while Rob Burnett is attended to, there's a break here at Cleveland.
You can see these new movies at theaters and head for McDonald's Holiday Film Festival, where you can pick up the original videos. The Addams Family or Wayne's World. Just $5.99 each when you buy any large sandwich at McDonald's.
Cool.
Also available, the children's classic Charlotte's Web or Ghost. Just $5.99 each when you buy any large sandwich.
I was not aware of that.
But hurry, because they'll be gone in a snap. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
You've heard of store cars, gas.
It will silently kill 2,000 unsuspecting people this year. It's an odorless, colorless, poisonous gas, and it could be stalking your home. It's carbon monoxide. New Center 7's Project CO can help keep your family safe with this simple detector and an informational pamphlet available at any Treasure Valley Toontac location and KTVB.
I'm Gretchen Anderson. Join photographer Dan Goycochea and me and learn how to safeguard your home from the poison. That's Project CO, Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock on Channel 7, Idaho's news channel.
By Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. By the American gas industry, gas, America's best energy value. And by Oldsmobile.
There's Rob Burnett. He's the guy who hurt his leg, but he's okay bouncing around. He'll probably go back in. Anthony Pleasant, number 98, will be his replacement. Pleasant moves all around that line. 4.5 sacks already this season. He can play both in positions. He'll step in now for Burnett.
Oilers with 157 yards rushing. Ernest Givens has rushed for 2 yards. And Gary Brown has rushed for 155. This guy's going to go over what he did last week.
It's amazing.
Of course, last week he missed. He sat out most of the 4th quarter, all of the 4th quarter. So big was the Oilers' lead over the Bengals. 3rd down. Houston needs 12, and Warren Moon wants to discuss this thing with his coaches. It is is a doubleheader day on NBC Sports. Coming up next on most of these stations, the Denver Broncos take the home field at Mile High to go against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the current leader in the AFC Central. Or you may see the Raiders go against the Chargers at San Diego.
Troy Hosty of Waseon. 9-year-old winner, Joe Dempsey of Stowe.
Warren Moon has got 171 yards passing so far today. This is a big toss for him coming up, 3rd and 12.
Winning in the 12-year-old.
1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He's 18 of 34. He's had some brilliant plays and a couple of moon shots.
There's the AFC Central at the outset of the day. The Cleveland Browns, who began with a season of promise, a 5-2 start. They were 3-0, then 5-2. Now 2 straight losses and 4 defeats in their last 6. Looking to turn it around today. A win would get Cleveland perhaps into a first-place tie, or the Oilers, if they win, could very well be tied for first if Denver beats Pittsburgh, but that takes some doing. 3rd down, they go to the draw play, and Gary Brown breaks it right up the middle, inside the 5, and down to the 4-yard line. He got a first down. So the Browns coming in an all-out pass rush, and they send Gary Brown up the middle on a draw, 15 yards.
That's a great call by the offense here. I mean, everybody's thinking pass. They're piling on the inside, full blitz, and Brown, look at him, shaking and baking at 2:30.
This guy Beasley, if he keeps going, we're not going to send him to the Pro Bowl. We're going to send him to Canton.
Straight. Takes 172 yards and 25 carries. All he needs to do here is score now.
Almost 7 yards a carry. Warren Moon finds trouble and makes the best of it and goes in. That looked like a broken play.
Yeah, I think that was a busted play.
But Warren will take it.
Warren went left and Brown went right. And Warren did what every quarterback is supposed to do, run the ball through the hole that was intended for the play to go through. Ran that tough, too.
So Coach Belichick's Browns up against it now, but there is a lot of time left, 12:30 to play.
See, look, he's looking for Brown. So Brown finally makes a mistake. And then Warren puts his head down and barely gets the ball over the line.
But he's got white chalk all over the ball, so it was on the line.
Absolutely.
Del Greco on the point after try. Powers it up and good. And the Cleveland Browns, who at one point trailed 3-0, now lead 24-10. Back at Cleveland Stadium, 12 minutes and 30 seconds left to play. The only thing that's going to turn around the anti-Belichick sentiment is a win. And right now, Art Modell's Browns, he sees them down by 14 points with 12:30 to go. Belichick really doesn't have an offensive coordinator, does he, Beasley? It's kind of a group decision.
Yeah, it's he takes some input, but he makes the final decision going in, and that's been a source of a lot of controversy here in town. But Bill, secure and confident and a little stubborn in his decision.
Somebody had the bed sheet business was good in Cleveland this week. Baldwin downs the ball in the end zone, and Cleveland will have the long field to go. They'll start with the ball 1st and 10 at their 20.
Well, Cleveland needs to make something happen here. I mean, this is it's an obvious statement, but here's what I would look at. I would look at Philcox trying to hit number 81, Jackson. And a look back at the last touchdown. There's Warren Moon, his running back, with the wrong way. And the 37-year-old, as of Thursday, happy birthday, drops his head and drives it in like a 25-year-old.
Yeah, the broken play, but he knew where to go, and there's nobody to give it to. Right to that touchdown line. Carrier on an end around, and Ray Childress makes an all-pro play. Tricks, and there's nothing happening. The Oiler coaches all singled out number 21 on Cleveland, Eric Metcalf, who's just come into the game, as the guy they had to stop, and he has just 2 receptions for 17 yards. No rushes in the game.
Philcox is a very good play faker. Just at that time, Big Childress had so much penetration that he ran right into the play, ran right into Carrier.
free safety Marcus Robertson.
Now that ball on the other side of Kitchen, and it's a reception. I mean, this is just a ball that's thrown on the wrong side of the athlete. Philcox has the opportunity to step and throw it on the other side. It's a completion. See, the good quarterbacks throw it away from the defender. Give the guy a chance to catch it without taking his head off.
But he's got to keep throwing, down by 14, even with 11:34 left to play. And here in the fourth quarter, the Browns are working into the wind for the most part. Wind is swirling. It seems to have died down a bit. Day getting colder, though. It's probably in the high 30s now. Here's a throw, and Dishman with a beautiful play.
Yeah, but, you know, Don, why go there? Why go at Dishman when Jackson has been having so much trouble? It's a wonder Dishman didn't catch that and moonwalk into the end zone. I wouldn't go there.
So the Browns are now forced to punt it from their end zone. And you know what the Oilers are going to do? Send Gary Brown at you to eat up clock.
Oh, boy.
Atlanta beating Dallas 27-7 in the fourth quarter. Falcons were a huge underdog on their home field.
Watch, look at this.
Look at this. Running with the ball is Del Spear, a rookie, and he's to the 16-yard line, but that's not nearly enough. And the ball turns over to Houston. Bubba McDowell, number 25, made the block.
Well, Bubba has done what he's supposed to do today. He told us that he's a guy that's put in position to make plays. And he has risen to the occasion. That's a picture-perfect block. 2 hands out, right on the ball.
Do you dream in color? In bottomless blues and screaming yellows? In sounds that shake you to the bottom of your heart? In images clear as crystal and brilliant as ice? In faraway worlds as close as your fingertips? These are what dreams and Sony Trinitron televisions are made of. Make one come true for you. It's your life. Isn't it worth a Sony?
Nissan advertises their Altima is starting under $14,000. Yeah, but unlike the Oldsmobile Achieva Special Edition, that price doesn't include air, automatic, anti-lock brakes, AM/FM stereo, and floor mats. Things that can make an Altima finish just under 18 grand. The Achieva Special Edition with all that and more is only $13,995. Well, you could always split it with me. It's your money.
McDowell just sent Bill Belichick's team against the ropes, blocking a punt, and now the Oilers take over the ball, 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line of Cleveland. The Oilers looking to get 5 straight wins for the first time in 13 years. Put the knockout punch on now if they haven't already. Here's the guy that can do it. Gary Brown turns it up and out.
Gary Brown, the little carrier.
The Oilers have owned the second half easily.
I mean, the time of possession is staggering. It's like a left hook. Houston's had the ball 15 minutes, over 15 minutes for 33 plays, and look at what Cleveland has done. Houston simply took over this football game.
Gary Brown now at 177 yards rushing on 26 carries.
And a touchdown. I'll leave out his touchdown. The man can do it.
End zone throw. Too much on it. He was going for Haywood Jeffries. Overthrown. That brings up 3rd down and 5.
There's Haywood Jeffries just going straight up on a streak on the side. He's a tall kid. They try to put it up high, and Terry Taylor in good position. Nothing they could do about that one.
Gary Brown's outrushed Warren Moon's passing. They both have a lot. Brown 177 yards rushing. Moon 171 passing. Moon to into the end zone again. A long throw and too much on it for Haywood Jeffries. And that sends out Al Del Greco, so the Oilers unable to convert for a touchdown off the block punt. So they do have a field goal try, very makeable for Al Del Greco, who's been one of the best. A huge game coming up for the Steelers next Sunday at the Astrodome. The Steelers come to Houston.
Now that's going to be a football game.
Yeah, they'll be.
Those Steelers. You know, you hear a noise around that Three Rivers Stance. People jumping on the bandwagon, baby.
Tell you when those people in Houston ought to start jumping on, because this is the best team in the American Conference, I think. Field goal is good.
Houston 27.
Next Saturday, a terrific college event. The Bayou Classic comes up on NBC Sports from the Superdome in New Orleans. The great Eddie Robinson, the winningest football coach in history. Anytime, anywhere, any level, Eddie Robinson leads the Grambling Tigers against the Jaguars of Southern University. That is next Saturday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, the Bayou Classic here on NBC Sports. I'll tell you one thing, Eddie Robinson, I guess, is into his 70s now, but he's one of the best looking 70s plus I've ever seen. He's going to
energetic man
until he's 90. The kickoff comes downfield. Hilliard runs it back for Cleveland. Baldwin takes it back to the 21-yard line, and he is knocked down to the 21-yard line. A gain of 18 yards on the play. Todd Philcox comes back out, the 6'4", 225-pounder from Syracuse University. There's the new home of the Cleveland Indians, downtown Cleveland. This will open up for next season, and they'll be packing with a lot of people. And right nearby is a new basketball arena where the Cavaliers will hold for it. It's a beautiful stadium. Hey, I don't know who's responsible, but somebody's done some job at downtown Cleveland over the last 10 years. It's like another place. Very terrific city to visit. Here is Philcox firing downfield to Kinchin. He's upended, loses the ball, is picked up by a teammate. He's flattened. My goodness. The hits keep coming here, BZ.
Yeah, they do. They are tossing their bodies around. Well, that was a super throw by Philcox. Good catch. A good hit. They're throwing the bodies around. This is a huge game for both teams, and boy, the Browns have got to do something to get back in it. Watch Philcox here. He'll make a serious check to the right. There it is. Doesn't like it. Come back to the left and just nail Kitchen right on the button. Tell you what, that was a fumble. That was a fumble, so the DBs had a right to come in there and hit.
Kitchen takes the ball, the tight end, lunges ahead. First play good for 9. While the Oilers will be home next week, the Astrodome to play the Steelers. The Browns head south. They'll be going to the site of the next Super Bowl, Atlanta, Georgia. They'll be going against the Falcons, and all of a sudden that becomes a lot tougher game. The Falcons laying it to the Dallas Cowboys today.
Second down and 1 at the Houston 41.
There's the rest of the Oilers schedule. They too have Atlanta coming up. That's on the following week. Straight ahead give, and Wilbur Marshall fills the hole quickly and knocks down Tommy Vardell. Second and short, there's no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
You know, when you look at how tough the Oilers have to go, I mean, it's going to be a tough go here. Pittsburgh twice, then San Francisco. Everybody knows what the Jets are doing now. Cleveland is no slouch, so I'll tell you, Houston's got to play the way they're playing. They plan to really make some noise.
Kitchen one-hands the ball and takes it down to the 35-yard line. Ryan Kinchin from LSU working more and more into the offense now as the game wears on. Going to some underneath stuff for a gain.
Kitchen's got 4 catches for 61 yards already. He is becoming a target. That's a super catch there. There are always people open when you're playing against a Buddy Ryan team. What he tries to do is give you this helter-skelter, emergency, exigent feeling by applying a lot of pressure. Now, he's going to start blitzing now. He doesn't wait very long. He's at that point in the field now where he'll start letting it go.
Oh, Buddy will be sending somebody here in a minute to blitz. There it comes. Philcox takes a drop, though. They pick it up. Downfield throw, a tip ball off the hands of Michael Jackson. That brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Browns.
You know, when the quarterback is just a little bit off, everything goes a bit high. And almost everything Kitchen, even the one-handed catch by Kitchen was a high ball. He had to reach up with one hand and catch it. Here, Michael, as tall as Jackson is, Michael is 6'4". He can't bring that one down. When the quarterback is off, it's usually a little high. The ball is high. That can also get you killed.
Yeah, stretching out those receivers. Philcox thrown a lot, 15 of 35. Limited starting time. He had a great game last year when he beat the Raiders with near perfect performance. Here's a throw downfield, and it's taken in by Michael Jackson. The Browns drive on. Reception made at the 25-yard line, right where he had to go for a first down, and looks like Mike Jackson has been shaken up.
Now that was a perfect blitz pickup by Philcox. He saw everybody coming. Once again, the ball a little high, but really can't blame him this time. Look at everybody. Wilbur Marshall coming straight up the gut. Philcox just did a good job to get rid of that ball, so you can't complain about that one being a little high. Here's a courageous catch and a good hit by young Jackson.
We'd like to show you our new Achieva Special Edition. Well, for starters, it's got an airbag, four-wheel anti-lock brakes, air conditioning, automatic transmission, AM/FM stereo, power door locks. Sure, but that's where the really special part comes in. It's your money.
Don't you wish we could just do this to air pollution? In a way we can. If homes and industries, power plants and vehicles would just switch to natural gas. Clean, economical, natural gas. Think what we'll save.
Now the movie America fell in love with can be yours during McDonald's Holiday Film Festival. Take home the smash romantic hit Ghost for just $5.99 when you buy any large sandwich. Or treat your family to the children's classic Charlotte's Web.
Isn't it great?
Just $5.99 when you buy any large sandwich. You can see these new movies at theaters and own the originals. But hurry to McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Monday, Will's bribing his teacher to get good grades.
Behold, my Chictionary.
One problem. Teach wants Hillary.
I was just so struck by your beauty.
Well, duh.
Then Sex and Blossom share a secret.
I'll be there for you.
And Joey hosts The Tonight Show and gets lucky.
Go out with me.
Whoa. With guest Tori Spelling, all new NBC.
Monday.
Michael Jackson was on the field when we last left Cleveland Stadium for that break after making a nice reception for a first down, but Michael's up. He's all right. Taking a play off, and the Browns drive on. If they need big plays, 7:37 to play in the game, and the clock is running. And the Oilers holding to a 27-10 lead. Metcalf, he's been held down. That's him in motion, 21. Here's a throw. Beautiful play, and Carrier goes in for a touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown throw. So the Browns strike quickly and inch back into the game with still 7:18 to play. Carrier with 7 receptions for 123 yards and that touchdown.
Tell you, Don, that was almost surgical in nature. It was a perfect throw, a perfect pattern. And when the quarterback and the wide receiver on the same page, it is almost like, I mean, it happened so quickly that the defense cannot react. Carrier can fly. Philcox, for once, put it right on the money.
Matt Stover hits the extra point. Up and good. And now, Philcox and the Browns down by 10. And now it's up to the Cleveland defense to try to get a stop of the Houston offense and get the ball back.
It's a 3-step drop, 1, 2, 3, let it go, and I mean he threw a bomb in there. Bubba McDowell fell down to help the play, but Mark Carrier and the quarterback Todd Philcox were on the same page. Watch this. 3 steps and burst on the inside. How about that for a pass? He didn't have to jump. He didn't have to move. The ball simply met him. The ball met him at an intersection. And that's what it's all about when it's working right, boy, and the defense has no chance of reacting.
The Oilers have that time-consuming runner, though, Gary Brown, who not only grinds out the yards, he eats up clock. He's been the guy, and he's going to be getting the ball a lot in this next drive. Browns have to try to force a 3-play and out and force the Oilers to punt the ball with 7 minutes and 18 seconds left to play. Stover ready to kick off. It is now turning into a very cold day in northern Ohio on the shores of Lake Erie. But we have an onside kick try. The Oilers are certainly positioned for one. They got the hands team up front. Little wedge shot. Willie Drury across the 20 and holding on to the ball. He gets to the 23. It's a doubleheader day on NBC Sports. Most of you will see the Pittsburgh Steelers go against the Denver Broncos at Mile High Stadium in Denver. Some will see the Raiders take on the San Diego Chargers at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. Check your local listings for the game in your area. We have a long way to go in this game as Warren Moon on the Houston offense comes back out. There's a holding call on the return. That'll set the Oilers back, so
holding.
They have the long field to
go.
go.
Receiving team during the return. 10 yards from the end of the run. First down.
There's a big break for Cleveland, and somebody's got to make a play. For the Browns to get back in this game, somebody's got to make a play, and they've got to make it quickly. See, the problem is they cannot let Mr. Brown, and that's what they're calling. And believe me, the Cleveland players are calling him Mr. Brown now. They can't let him just drag them 3-4 yards a pop.
Only his second year from Penn State. Gary Brown. He's the man, and they're reading him all the way, and this time they shut him right down. Miami has defeated New England by just 4 points as the Patriots continue to lose week after week in the closest of games.
Boy, the numbers tell it all right there. 91 and 92 combined for Mr. Brown, 172. Now look what he's done the last 2 weeks. He has come of age, I believe.
Oh, he has come of age. And he is aging that defense. Everyone he plays against. You get old trying to stop this guy. Moon off target. Duncan was running a hitch and go, and Moon was looking for the out pattern. So it comes to 3rd down and 9 now.
That's one of the difficulties of the Houston offense, is the run and shoot. It's an offense that is in flux. So the quarterback and the wide receiver have to see and read and make the same adjustment. That time, Moon and Duncan on separate pages. One thinking long, one thinking short.
And importantly for Cleveland, Beasley, the incomplete pass stopping the clock. 6:27 still to be played. 4 wide receivers set. Remember that draw he ran to Gary Brown. This time he's going to throw it. Here comes the rush. There's the throw. It's caught for a first down. Haywood Jeffries coming off the left flank, running a post pattern over the middle, and Warren Moon right on his numbers for 21 yards and a first down on a 3rd and 9 play.
See, the Houston Oilers have big play people. They have people that make plays when it's time. Look at Jeffries with a nice smooth pattern on the inside, and his quarterback Warren Moon right on the money. And Coach Belichick sits and doesn't make too much of an adjustment. You see the people behind him jumping up and down, but
major upset, Beasley, at Kansas City. The Bears have just upset the Chiefs 19-17.
This is some day in football.
Yeah, this is some weekend. Gary Brown on first down runs the ball and runs the clock, which is ticking down to 5:35 to play. James Jones and Stephon Moore, the tacklers.
Well, it's time for the offensive line to step up for the Houston Oilers and Mr. Gary Brown. If they give him a crack, they give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Gary Brown said 1 year at Penn State he was a running back. The next year he was a strong safety. The next year he was a running back again, but he was behind Leroy Thompson, who's playing so well for the Steelers now. So he never got to play much, but they liked him in the combines and used an 8th-round draft choice to get him. What a pick. Penalty marker comes in from the linesman as James Jones wrestles down the ball carrier, Gary Brown.
The tackle by James Jones.
I'll tell you, that was an interesting. The wide receivers may have
illegal motion.
Illegal motion. I thought it was in the wide receiving core moving illegally. We'll find out. Maybe it's in the line.
Wind gusting up in off the lake. The ball will be set back on the penalty as the Browns look for the mark. Back close to the 35-yard line. One of the offensive players is going off the field. David Williams shaken up. Looks to be all right. He just limped off, might have turned his ankle.
3rd down.
We're at Cleveland Stadium. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. 75,000 looking for the Browns to come out of their losing streak. But they're down 10 points to the Oilers now in the 4th quarter. 5 minutes to play. Houston looking for its first 5-game win streak in 13 years. Warren Moon stands in. Evades the rush. And wisely throws the ball away, but it was on 3rd down. And the Oilers have to punt the ball.
Well, we've had a couple of instances today where the Cleveland Browns have simply covered up everybody. The secondary on this team is pretty good. Now, here's the most dangerous man on the football field. Eric Metcalf can do. He's done it. He has done and he can do. They better cover this punt, buddy.
This is the man who personally beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on this field. Montgomery doesn't want to give him a run back. He angles it for the sidelines and kicks it out of bounds at the 30. They're very wary of Metcalf. They're not going to fool with him.
You know, the coaches told us in their meetings yesterday that they were going to kick it out of bounds, sideways, whatever they had to do.
Look at Metcalf yelling down at him, the former Texas Longhorn. Talk about an athlete. His best long jump, the U.S. champion, was 27.8. Coming up next, the Steelers and the Broncos on most of these NBC stations on a doubleheader day. The Raiders also go against the Chargers at San Diego. But right now, the Browns have the ball. 4:48 left to play in the game. And Cleveland down 27-10. The last time they got the ball, scoring on a touchdown pass, now down by 10 points. They'll be throwing. Philcox with a quick drop. Here's a blitz. He just gets it away, and he makes the connection. Patrick Rowe, number 86, makes his first play of the day, and it's good for a first down.
Todd Philcox is starting to make some plays. I mean, he's starting to recognize blitzes. He's turning, he's throwing with his entire body with confidence and hitting people on the money. I mean, this guy is starting, he's stepping up.
One of the things he does well, Beasley, he sets up fast. He's quick.
Yes.
He's big, 6'4", 225, but he's ready to throw. Here is a stretched out reception. It's good for a catch.
Super catch.
Somehow, the Browns make the play again as Michael Jackson goes up after the ball and comes down with it, a 9-yard gain.
Jackson still holding his back. A result of the last hit that he took. At the top of your screen, you see him limping into position number 81. Hanging on to that lower back and still trying to run. Just made a great play in pain.
Here's a throw and a catch. A stunning hit, but the ball is held. Michael Jackson again makes the play, and again the Cleveland Browns have a first down. Because all of a sudden, Todd Philcox is looking like the guy they hoped he'd be.
Well, it takes a lot of courage to catch this ball. He just caught a ball and got nailed with man. Jackson and Philcox stepping up.
Over the middle throw against a big rush. Glenn Montgomery was coming hard, and Philcox had to release the ball to save getting sacked. Incomplete pass. That stops the clock with 3:23 to play. Green Bay has defeated Detroit 26-17.
I tell you, here's a great throw. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy steps, surveys, and look at the catch.
Philcox has some impressive numbers now. He's hit 20 of 41 for 288 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was intercepted twice, but that was early in the game. Here comes the rush. Philcox pumps, lets it go deep. It's picked off by Marcus Robertson. The Oilers intercept with 3:16 to play. So this drive is stopped.
You know, that happens a lot on the pump fake. If you're a great safety, when you see that quarterback pump one time, you take off running full speed.
You know it's going deep.
You know it's going deep. They don't pump you and throw a quick out. They pump fake the quick out. They pump fake the curl and go big. Now the pump comes off right there. Now he's pumping on the curl. And so as a great safety, you're flying. You catch it like a punt if you're any good.
I don't know if I'd be fooling with that dishman thrown over his way.
No, I wouldn't be fooling with the dish either. See the pump?
Yep, you got it.
When they pump, you got to be going. See, you throw on the ball in the National Football League, you're too late. You have to throw on the intent to throw. The pump, you go.
Except they say when you're looking at the little number, you're in trouble if you're a defensive back. The number on the back of the jersey is smaller than one in the front.
I didn't see too many of those little ones. I don't know what you're talking about.
Tonight, don't miss an all-star, all-around the world spectacular on NBC. It's Disney's Countdown to Kids Day, followed by an all-new Sequest adventure starring Roy Scheider. Then it's an NBC world premiere movie. On the surface, they were the All-American Family. Behind closed doors, their true story will shock you. Neil Patrick Harris and Roseanne's Johnny Galecki star in A Family Torn Apart. That's all tonight on NBC. The lights are on, and the Oilers are looking to run out the clock if they can. In the first quarter at San Diego, Chargers and the Raiders are scoreless right now. Some of you will be going to that game. Others will see, most of you will see the Steelers go against the Broncos. They too are underway now, and there's no score early in that first quarter. Is the man getting the ball again. Cleveland looking for him all the way. He doesn't get much as the Browns look to force a punt if they can. Browns quickly call a timeout with 3:02 to play. We'll be back to Cleveland Stadium in a moment. Gary Brown of the Houston Oilers approaching a 200-yard rushing day, up to 189 now. And the Tyler Rose was the last Oiler to get it over 200. 13 years ago in the December day when he rushed for 203 yards. Third down coming up now for Warren Moon and the Oilers. They need 6. Timing throw downfield, incomplete, and the Oilers have to punt. Haywood Jeffries was the intended receiver who wasn't close to a connection.
That's a play that they run all the time. It's where Hayward just goes down the sideline and then sets down. And here's the most dangerous man once again. And let me say this. There's no way they kick to this guy. I mean, we saw it last time. They're going to line drive it. They told us in the meetings that they'd rather take a 1st and 10 from the sideline than to kick the ball to Eric Metcalf, especially in the middle of the field.
Montgomery steps into it. Now he booms it end over end. Metcalf's going to get a play on this one. Out of room and finds some and gets back to the 43-yard line of Houston. A 36-yard punt and a 7-yard return.
Well, they gambled and got away with it.
I think the reason they did, Beasley, is Metcalf came way up on it. If they were going to try that short sideline kick again, he was in position to possibly catch it on the run.
So they kicked straight down. You can see how dangerous he is right there. That's a hit, and he backs up. Very lucky there.
On October 24th at the stadium, he returned one punt, 91 yards for a touchdown against the Steelers. He returned another 75 yards for a touchdown. Statistically, the Steelers really dominated that day, but Metcalf personally beat them. Philcox throws, and Kinchin makes the reception. He's down to the 30-yard line. A 12-yard gain on the play. 2 minutes and 37 seconds to play in the game.
Todd Philcox doesn't have a lot of game experience. He is really maturing before our eyes. I mean, down the stretch, under pressure, under duress, he's making some good throws.
Again, Philcox sets up. Again, he has time, and Kitchen is there. It's intercepted again. A tip ball on the run of the Houston Oilers. Marcus Robertson's going to be ruled down. Robertson picks off another. That was you really can't fault anybody on that. It was a great play by Robertson as the ball skipped off Kitchen's fingertips, and Marcus Robertson from Iowa State makes a tremendous diving play.
Back-to-back interceptions. You can't ask for any better than that. And really, like you said, you can't fault Todd Philcox. He puts the ball there. The bounce and the quick hand and eye coordination of the defensive back. Watch this. That's why he's a pro. That's quickness.
That is real quickness. And again, the Browns are stopped. So late in the game, Philcox has been in sync. These interceptions have stopped drives as he's up to 300 yards passing for the day. But as you see, has been picked off 4 times. So he has 8 turnovers in the 2 games he started. He had 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles against Seattle, and the 4 pickoffs today. Gary Brown. Browns go hunting the ball, trying to punch it free. They can't do it. As we now come down to the 2-minute warning at Cleveland Stadium, and the Oilers continue to lead the game. There's another great Brown who runs the football in the NFL. In addition to the rising Gary Brown, there's Jim Brown, who some regard as the greatest ever.
Well, in my mind, he's the greatest ever. That's the man right there.
5 yards a carry for his career, and the whole world knew he was going to carry it.
That's right.
12,000 yards in 9 years, and he was playing in 12-game seasons.
That's right. That's the big stat that people forget about. The guy's playing 16 games now and trying to compare their numbers to the man. I don't think so.
He said, how can you retire now? They said, well, you retire for 9 years now. I said, with this kind of money, it's awful tough to say goodbye. Gary Brown is weaving and turning and winding his way, and that will be another timeout on the field. This will be back to Houston, or to Cleveland Stadium. Don Criqui with Beasley Reese. You have to look at this Houston Oilers team, which has been known in recent years for fast starts and then collapses, as a genuine Super Bowl contender. I think it's the best team in the American Conference, and we've seen them all.
Well, it is one of the best. I'm not ready to give them the best yet, but, you know, I'm still looking at Pittsburgh and looking at what they do. But still, Houston, I think you have to be proud of what they've accomplished. They're coming up against a real tough part of their schedule.
Yeah, this will tell the story.
This will tell it. Over the next few weeks, we'll find out who's playing.
Back to the run they go. The Browns are reading Gary Brown all the way. And again, 3 straight times now, it's been 3 downs and out for the Houston offense as they try to run out the clock. So they're going to have to punt it back to Cleveland again. And it'll be Philcox throwing right down to the gun. But they need a touchdown and a field goal to just tie the game, down by 10.
Well, here's the Metcalf factor again. Once again, I wouldn't kick to him. The defense has been making the plays and making the turnovers. I kick it to the sideline, or at least I'd make this guy run a mile to field the ball.
He tried to hit it. It's kind of a shank.
Yeah. Well, he tried to. He can hear me. He's trying to do what I'm telling him to do.
Yeah, he's listening. Now let's look at the Hager wrinkle-free cotton super play of the game.
And, of course, if you've been watching this game, you know that it's all about Mr. Brown. Goes in, gets hit by Michael Dean, sucks in the entire Cleveland Brown team, spins off, and runs a beautiful touchdown. This man has put on a show today.
Every week, 2 starts, 2 superlative performances. And now let's see what Cleveland can do with 1:13 left in the game. And the Browns setting to go on offense. 1st and 10 at the Oilers 39-yard line. Cleveland led off the scoring today. Scored on a Stover field goal to take a 3-0 lead. Then the Oilers came back with 2 touchdowns. They led 14-3. It was 14-10 at the half. Oilers extended their lead to 27-10. It's now 27-17 with Philcox throwing to the end. He goes downfield. Patrick Rowe has it, and he's down to the 23-yard line. Philcox
has been impressive in this emergency situation. He's really been good.
Yeah, Yeah, he looks strong. His confidence level is definitely coming up. And he throws. Oops. Incomplete. That will stop the clock with 52 seconds to play.
And, you know, it's not like Houston is playing a prevent defense either. They're playing man-for-man coverage, and you know, Buddy Ryan is not one of those guys that just backs off and says, we've got a big lead, we'll let you march down the field. They are blitzing the guy. They're playing man for man. They're doubling the inside guys, and he is still, Philcox, still putting it on the money.
Buddy Ryan's defense has really stopped the run. They've allowed the Browns only 49 yards rushing, but Philcox has thrown now for 303 yards. 4 wide receivers going deep. He takes a look, cuts it downfield, and it comes in short. Incomplete, and that'll bring up third down at the 23-yard line. Of course, with 47 seconds left and down by 10, we're looking at four downs of passing. 2 more to come.
The guys under duress. I mean, this Houston team has done a great job. They have never quit rushing. Look at them. Childress, Jones, Sean Jones coming in with a big hit in his head there. Fuller on the other side. These guys are bringing it. They know he has to throw.
Philcox numbers: 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Oilers turned it over 4 times in the first half. Early in the first half, then they settled down. Here's Philcox, and they get him. He's knocked down at the 27-yard line. Ray Childress with another big play. So 4th down arises, and Philcox looks to be going to the end zone. Now they're going to send out the field goal unit. They need 10 points, so
doesn't matter how they get it. 3 first, 7 later, or 7 first and 3 later. Doesn't matter.
They can try an onside kick. The thinking here is the field goal, which was good, makes it a 27-20 game. And now the Browns will try an onside kick with 23 seconds left, hoping they get the ball and can get a desperation pass into the end zone and tie the game.
This is an exciting part of the football game. Well, you get people diving in. Now the Houston Oilers will put out there what they call their hands team. They'll have every receiver, every tight end, every defensive back, anybody with good hands will be lined up on the kickoff return team. It'll be all the little guys, none of the big guys. Running backs, second and third team running backs and receivers, all of those people will man the kickoff return team now, expecting the onside kick.
Jack Pardee looking on nervously. The Browns are out of timeouts. Webb Slaughter goes on the field. He certainly has the good hands.
That's right. You know, he's not a kickoff return blocker, but he's right on the front line. There's Ernest Gibbons on the front line. These guys will have a wave of Browns coming at them, and their job is to concentrate, to have the coolness, the reserve, to gather in the ball and take the blows from these big rushers for the Browns, who will be trying to knock it free. Here we go. To the right side, maybe.
Look at this.
Here we go.
He's going to bounce it. Watch it. They work on this. It's amazing, these kickers.
Here we go.
He bounces it down the field. Look at that play. What a nice scoop of the ball by an Oiler. Who was that that came? That was Scott Kozak, a linebacker from Wisconsin. Made a tremendous play, and that really, in effect, ends the game since the Browns have no timeouts remaining.
Well, you know, sometimes it's the bounce of the ball is what it comes down to. Now watch this. It'll bounce right perfectly where the guy can catch it and cradle it. He caught that at about the 8, and the ball is supposed to go 10 for the kicking team to be able to recover it.
Denver has taken a 3-0 lead on Cleveland. Or excuse me, on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, with 22 seconds left to go, the Houston Oilers have the ball positioned at the 43-yard line of the Browns. The Oilers looking to up their record now to 6-4. This after a 1-4 start. The knockout punch in that playoff game at Buffalo, when they're up by 35 and lost the lead, and then followed up by a disastrous start. All the pressure was on the Oilers. The critics were many and very vocal, but the Oilers stuck together, and they have come back big time. As they win again, they win their 5th straight game for the first time in 13 years. And they are a team to be reckoned with as Coach Belichick, with strong security, leaves the field as a loser with the Cleveland Browns. Browns have now dropped 5 of their last 7.
27, Cleveland 20.
Now for Beasley Reese, this is Don Criqui. Glad you could be with us in Cleveland, Ohio, where the Oilers are a victor 27-20.